Recently I did this video right here, which was a countdown of the best Dark Knight Metal statues out there. Now, as a reminder, Dark Knight Metal is a DC storyline where there's all these different iterations of Batman from different universes where he merged with different characters. And that was just video 1 of 5. So we counted down all the different iterations of Batman statues from different universes. But what's the best Batman statue out there? And it got really complicated because we have your normal Bruce Wayne from the Earth we're used to. We have all these other iterations, whether it's Dark Knight Metal or something strange, whether it's DCU. When we say Batman, do we mean Batman villains? So that's why we're doing 4 more videos. Because of all the statues that hit this table that fell into one of those categories I just mentioned, there's about 100. So I've broken it down, and today, number 2, we're going to talk about the best Batman statues of Bruce Wayne / regular Batman. Nothing weird. Although I bet you Batman is a little weird, especially in the sack. Into some S&M like stuff, bondage, leather. I could see that. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme Channel. My name is Mr. X, and today we're doing another countdown. I love to do countdowns, mostly about high-end collectibles, but quite a few other things as well. You can check it out in the playlist above. Today we're going to look at, I think there's around 15 of them, or 20 maybe, Bruce Wayne Batman statues that have landed on this table. Now, as a disclaimer, these are none of the Dark Knight Metal statues that were in the previous countdown. You can actually check that out right here. And again, they had to be a normal version of Bruce Wayne, not Thomas Wayne or Terry McGinnis. That is the next countdown we're going to do. So if this is interesting to you, make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've subbed to the channel and hit the bell notification. But before we get to the actual countdown, I want to know what your favorite Batman statue ever made was, whether it's hit your table or not. Throw that down in the comments below for your chance to win a statue. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Today we're gonna talk about my least favorite to the most favorite, and again, the disclaimer was it had to have been on this table. So with that, I want to let you know I think the number 1 statue has probably never been on this table. It's this Prime 1 Studio 1/3 scale Detective Comics Batman that came in both blue and black. I have seen it in person, and I've just never pulled the trigger because I have some other ones that are almost as good, but not quite. And we're going to talk about those today, of course. And as a reminder, we're going to do the non-Earth, non-Bruce Wayne Batman statues next. There's about 15 of those. Then we're going to do Joker statues. I've owned over 20 different Joker statues. And then we're going to do Batman villains, minus the Joker, of course. So this could be any scale as well. This is 1/4, 1/3 bust, doesn't matter. Coming in at number 17 is this old Batcave quarter scale custom. So the cave itself was absolutely amazing, and some could argue it merits being higher on the list. But the Batman itself, I was not a fan of. I thought the sculpt was really lacking, not a big fan of the portraits, and some of it didn't make sense. Another throne piece comes in at number 16 for very similar reasons. Cool concept. He defeated the Justice League. This was called Contingency piece. However, it's very old too, so they used outdated sculpting methods, which could lead to it being so low on the list at number 16 for sure. A custom 1/4 scale blue suited Batman. While this wasn't a bad piece by any means, it definitely was my least favorite of all of the ones I have owned. Followed by number 14 was one of the most expensive ones. It was this J&D Bruce Wayne Christian Bale Batman. To me, the unmasked portrait was such a miss on this. He looked like he was 90 years old. And you're going to see some similar statues to this higher up in the countdown. But going with number 13, we have Nipple Batman. So this is from Prime 1 Studios. It's 1/3 scale. This is Val Kilmer's iteration of Batman from Batman Forever. I still own this because I'm collecting all the Batman versions in 1/3 scale from the DCU, which is why I also own number 12, Tactical Suit Batfleck. This is from the Justice League, Zack Snyder. I still think he still wore it in the non-Zack Snyder cut version, but this comes in at number 12, and he's actually right next to Val Kilmer in my display. Number 11, another 1/3 scale DCU Batman. This is Christian Bale as well. So this is made by Queen Studios, if you remember. I actually did a comparison video between this and number 15, and I can't remember who won, but obviously based on this list, it must have been number 11. So number 10, another piece from the DCU. This is actually not the last one on the list, but it is the original Batfleck. So this was part of their Justice League line. I really like this piece, and I thought I wasn't going to collect the line. I wish I held on to it. I would have rather had this than the tactical one we just looked at. But this came in at number 10 because the likeness was spot on, and to be honest with you, it's pretty old. Speaking of old, Prime One Studios' original Batman Hush. So there's two iterations of this. The other iteration you see higher on the list. This one was actually pretty good with two huge flaws, which is why it's so lower in the list. Flaw number one is mine actually fell over from leaning. I came home one day and it was falling over and broke. Two, really hard to display. I'm glad they did such a dynamic stance. You typically don't see that in the 1/3 scale, but for me, it just didn't work. Number 8 by Queen Studios is our first life-size bust. So this is silicone. This is Batfleck. Looks just like him. Absolutely amazing. You know, there's some other busts that have recently come out that probably would be higher on the list if I didn't own, but again, that's the caveat. It has to have been on this table. But Batfleck bust from Queen Studios comes in at number 8. Number 7 is an oldie. Prime One Studios' Noel Batman. I really liked this. I really liked the storyline. It was different. Very cool storyline if you want to check out the Noel Christmas time story. I can't remember the exact, but I think it was from the Bermejo. Would have paired really well with that Joker, but I never owned it. That came in at number 7. Number 6, my last DCU piece, is this custom Keaton bust. So it looks just like Michael Keaton, who was my Batman growing up. I remember seeing the 1989 Batman in the theaters. I've told that story many times. So there's probably some nostalgia behind this, but it's such an amazing, cool bust. Looks like Keaton is really in my TV room. Now we're down to the top 5. Again, an opportunity for you to comment below if your favorite Batman statue has been mentioned, or what do you think it's going to be? And just for the disclaimer, I lied to you. Number 4 is actually a DCU one. But before we get to that, number 5 was the Batman XE from Prime One Studio. So he was wearing this Mr. Freeze suit. It's meant to pair with the Prime One Studios Mr. Freeze, which you'll see on the countdown in a few days. I did end up getting rid of this because 20 versions of Batman is a little much, but it is an amazingly awesome piece, and I wouldn't mind having it in my collection again. Number 4 is that DCU piece, totally underrated. Robert Pattinson is my favorite Batman movie. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And I think Prime One Studios killed it on this sculpt. The portraits are amazing. And because I like the Batman so much, it naturally gravitated to number 4. Very high on the list, but not as high as Prime One Studios' new Batman Hush. It's not even new anymore. It was offered in both black and blue. I had the blue. 5 different amazing portraits. Cool that it was in the Batcave. Sculpted cape. Bats everywhere. However, I do think it lost out to this custom. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with my number 2, but that's what subjectivity and opinions are about. So this custom black Batman I absolutely love. He's in the Batcave. Again, a huge number of switch outs from arms to portraits, and they all look amazing. And I think this looks great in my collection. I love Batman in the black suit. And it's not racist to say that. Well, some people might be offended. But number 1 is one I don't own anymore, but it was just cool as shit. And of course, I'm talking about the quarter scale Prime One Studios Justice Buster. So this is when Batman made a huge suit of armor to defeat the Justice League. Almost reminds you of Hulkbuster. I had him paired next to Hulkbuster. There's just no room in my collection for this piece anymore, which is why I got rid of him. But this, in my opinion, is the best Batman statue ever made, minus the one we spoke about at the beginning, the Detective Comics. Now, as a disclaimer, probably within a few weeks or a month after this video launches, I have one more Batman statue on order. It's a custom 1/3 scale Keaton, all in 1/3 scale. I'm really excited to get that. That's it. That's the countdown. Now it's time for me to get some work done. You should be working too. YouTube is not a good use of time. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in and using your time wisely watching YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Please drop me a like. It really, really helps the channel. And if you like stuff like this, I have detailed videos on all those you can check out. Subscribe for future content. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.